Last month, one of my close friends had to move back to India because he couldn't find a job that could sponsor him to live and work in the UK. So he had to move back. That's not the sad part. The sad part is he has 25 lakhs Indian rupees of education loan still to pay back. And it's very hard working in India and paying back 25 lakhs. So he was he was very stressed. He's still stressed. He's trying to apply jobs and do whatever he can so that he could at least pay back the loan. And the loan he got from a bank, he kept his home as a collateral to get this loan. So he's very stressed. He was very stressed when he was moving. Now also he's very stressed, but he's trying to do something. He's trying to figure out what he can do. Trying to do something. So I thought it would be great for it would be good if I make a video uh, on the topic and try on this topic and try to answer a very important question. Should you be moving to the UK as a student? And what all points and aspects you need to look into before deciding? So before going further into this video, I want to add a disclaimer and caveat this video by saying that whatever I'm going to discuss in this video purely based on my own experience and whatever I'm saying that is happening here in the UK with many students and many of my friends as well. So first and foremost thing, if you are planning to move to the UK as a student, first and foremost thing to figure out is how are you going to finance your masters or your studies? How are you going to finance it? This is very important. It's very important. If you are getting an education loan, if your parents are able to afford it, and if you are taking education loan, how are you going to pay back your education loan? And is it you who gonna pay back, or parents are happy to do it for you? So look at all these different points and figure out what situation suits you. Because if you are taking education loan, say for 25 lakhs, you at least need 25 lakhs to do 1 year masters here in the UK. 25 lakhs annually, 25 lakhs Indian rupees. So let's say 25 lakhs. So how are you going to pay back your student loan? So if it's you who gonna have to pay back the loan, then how are you going to pay back your loan? So to pay back this loan, you should live and work in the UK after you finish your masters or your studies, right? And get a job. So I know many people would be thinking that first year you'll be on a student visa, then you get a graduate visa, then you then you move to a sponsored visa. So is graduate visa enough to pay back the loan? In many cases, no, it's not enough. It's not enough. Most of the cases, you will not be able to pay back your education loan before the end of your graduate visa. If you can, that is great. But in most of the cases, no, you will not be able to do it. So after graduate visa, if you want to stay here in the UK, you need a sponsored job. I'm discussing the usual visa route here. There are many other visa routes that you can look into to to get a permission to stay and live and work in the UK. I'm not gonna get into all this visa stuff, but the usual route that most of the people follow is a student visa, graduate visa, then sponsored visa, that is tier two visa, skilled worker visa, you can call it. So you need a sponsored visa after the completion of your graduate visa to live and work in the UK. You need a sponsor. You need a job. You need an employer who is ready to sponsor you. So because of the current job market here in the UK, it is really, really hard to get a sponsored job. There have been several changes in visa rules in the last 2 years. They are making it hard for employers to sponsor international candidates, international graduates. So if you are planning to take education loan, live in the UK, and pay back the education loan, it's you should be willing to do the work. Work, I mean, if you come to the UK as a student, your only priority should be study, apply jobs, study, apply jobs. That's focusing. You should be completely focused on your career, completely to do it, to get a job. Yeah, I'm not saying you'll not get a job. I'm just saying it's very hard. It's becoming very, very difficult to get a job as a graduate here in the UK because of the immigration rules. So employers are not ready to sponsor. Even big companies are not ready to sponsor the graduates. So this is the main main aspect. Think about this. How are you going to finance your masters or your studies here in the UK? This is the important thing. And second point is if you're planning to move to the UK as a student, what course are you planning to do? That is also important. If you are planning to MBA or if you are planning to do um, some masters in some engineering course, maybe like civil, mechanical, or anything, or hospitality, etc. My advice would be to do STEM course, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. If your course falls under STEM course, you would have a higher chance to get a job, given that you are willing to work hard for it. Don't go for hospitality courses, please. No, I'm not saying they are not a good course. I'm just saying the chance of you getting a job, sponsored job, is very, very less. If you go for such courses, go for STEM course, engineering course, and work. You should be working hard to get a job. And the third point is the university. Go for good universities, top 200, at least top 200 in the world. Yeah, you'll have to pay the fees. Yeah, you'll have to pay, but top 200 university. Look for Russell Group universities. Here in the UK, there are a group of universities that are classified as Russell Group universities. They are really, really good universities. Choose such universities. Don't go for any other universities. So first, how are you going to finance your master's or studies here in the UK? Second, what course are you going to do? Third, what university are you going to choose? These are three main questions you should answer. And there are other aspects as well. Not these are not the only three aspects you should be considering. There are other aspects as well I'll discuss in this video. But these three are the main important points or questions you need to answer. How are you going to do? How are you going to finance? What course you going to do? What university you going to go for? So next thing is, are you willing to work hard? That's it. If you want to live and work in the UK after completing your studies, you should be willing to work hard as a student, especially the current scenario, current job market. It's not so good how it used to be like 2 years or 3 years ago. No, it's not so good. I've been here for more than 4 years now, and I've seen the change. It's, it's not very good at the minute. So B, if you're planning to live and work in the UK after completing your course, you should be willing to work hard during your university life. 1 year. I have made a separate video series of what you should be doing in first or 1 to 3 months and what you should be looking into, how to apply for graduate roles and competency-based questions, etc. I'm still planning to do more videos on that video series. But yeah, please go and watch those videos if you're already in the UK or if you have decided to move to the UK as a student. So are you willing to work hard? That's the fourth question you need to answer. Fifth question is whether it's cold here in the UK. Trust me, it's cold. Well, it may not be that cold in some parts of South England, but mostly it's cold. It's cold, and you may think it's very warm in some part of India, and you want to go to a place where you get some cold. But trust me, this is not this is not a kind of cold you'd be willing to live in. No, it's very cold. Whether food, you should be willing to adjust. You should be willing to work and do stuff on your own, or else it's hard. It's hard. Trust me, it's hard. It's not that easy. But you sit in India, and when you think of going to the UK or going abroad and studying there, it is not easy. It's very hard. So these are some aspects you should be considering. I told you first three questions. These are very, very important questions. And I also told you one of my friends had to move back because he didn't get a sponsored job and he has education loan of 25 lakhs Indian rupees, and he's trying to figure out something. But see, what if you had to move back to India and you are the one who has to pay back the education loan, I don't think you'll be getting a really, really good wage in India, even if you completed your masters here in the UK, unless you're an extraordinary candidate. Yeah, think about all of these points, all of these aspects, and try to make a decision that makes sense to you. Education loan is the most important question. Not education loan, I mean financing your masters or studies here in the UK. It might be a trap if you do it wrong. Trust me. And the stress that you'll be having will be immensely high. Like you will not be able to. If something happens that you had to move back to India and you have an education loan of 20 or 25 lakhs, I don't know how do I explain this situation, but trust me, I've seen this happen to one of my close friends. Right, I'm not going to make this video longer, but yeah, these are the points you should be looking into. And the job market here, as I said, in the UK is not very good at the minute. It's not very good, especially for international candidates. No, not at all. All this fight against immigration in Europe, here in the UK and USA, Canada, uh, there might be some political reasons behind this, but the rules that they have changed in the last 2 years have really impacted the job market, especially for international candidates. It has become very hard to get an interview as well. It's become very hard to get an interview as well. Back then, when I was applying, I at least used to get interviews. I given many interviews. I don't even have a count. I given many interviews. But now it is becoming really, really hard to even get an interview, even to get a call from an HR. So the situation is it's getting worse and worse. It's getting worse and worse. Yeah. And I talk to many friends, many students who are currently doing masters here in the UK on LinkedIn and on WhatsApp. I have a few friends who are currently doing masters, and they tell me what they're going through. They tell me their application journey, and they say I'm not even able to get an interview. Even if I get an interview in the last round, they are rejecting me because they are not able to sponsor the visa. Sorry. So, please consider all these aspects before you plan to move to the UK as a student. And if you are already in the UK, uh, please watch my video series on student life in the UK. How are you gonna plan your student life? How are you gonna plan your university life and what you should be doing and what you should not be doing? Please watch those videos, and I have explained everything in detail and given you some tips to work on yourself. I'm planning to make more videos on the student life, what you should be doing, and different aspects of your student journey here in the UK. But yeah, I'm gonna end this video here now, and thank you very much.